Hello, kindred longevity lifestyle designers. This is Zach here with Secrets of Longevity and Humans.com, as well as Martin-Kilgour.com. Have you ever been looking for that sculpted abdominal washboard ab type look, whether you're male or female? I personally have abandoned that pursuit. However, I do understand people's desire for that look. However, I'm not a fan of exercising specifically for the intent of vanity. I'm interested in health and longevity, so my pursuits in that realm of body work, working on the body, developing it, are always in line with what's best for these purposes. And partially, as a martial artist, I'm interested in abdominal strength that is able to withstand blows to the abdomen, as well as serve as a compression chamber that's sending force out through a limb to counter a movement by an enemy or an opponent, etc. Now, as a result of my exercise routine, I do have a certain amount of abdominal muscular development, and due to my dietary practices, I actually have a very low body fat accumulation on my abdominal area, and I've actually always been a very slim person, which probably has something to do with it. But also, I believe having a very low sugar diet is important for making the musculature of the abdomen show through in the form of abs. And the most important thing, I think, is actually eliminating as much fructose in your diet as possible, because that's the sugar that gets converted to fat automatically, no matter what you're doing. If you're an extremely active person, as a lot of fruitarians are, you're going to be burning that fat off like that, and that's fine, I guess, if you want to go that route. However, if you're not exercising as much as some of these pretty intense athletes, which kudos to them, that's great, that fructose is going to be converting to fat, but it's going to be accumulating on your body because there's no way that you can constantly be targeting that and having the very high levels of human growth hormone and other things necessary to always be burning that fat. And I think there are certain exercises that can be the best for doing these things and bringing about these results we want, if you happen to want those results in your body. And it's definitely great to look sexy and feel sexy, so that can be a component of longevity if you think of it in that way. You want to look good, to feel good, to live a long life. That kind of limits the detriment that can come about from being too focused on the vanity, which can harm your health in ways that you might not be aware of. And I talk about this in my article that I posted in the top right-hand info box there. There's two articles there, actually. One is on, in my opinion, the best bodyweight exercises, and this exercise I'm about to demonstrate to you is actually on that list. And then there's also an article on the benefits of physical exercise, and in it I describe the importance of having the intention of longevity for your exercise routine, or your practice, or your workouts. And because if you get caught in the idea of vanity or just sort of general health, it's going to put you down a path that might not even, where yes, you're going to have the health benefits of doing exercising. It's better than not exercising at all. But you really want to have the intent of longevity, because then you're going to choose the exercises that are going to be the best. So this exercise is called the Jack Lalanne push-up. You may have seen YouTube videos about it, and I'm going to demonstrate it and explain how to work up to being able to do it. I believe this is the second best exercise for your lower abs that you can do. And I'll get into the best exercise at a later date. You can obviously vary this. You can have your legs closer together, your hands closer together. I prefer to do it wider, just because that's the body movement I'm interested in cultivating. And it's a very whole body exercise. You're working your legs, your abs, your upper body as well. But because of the way it's situated, most of the strain is in this area, right around the lower dantian, if you're familiar with that term from martial arts, or qigong, or whatever systems use those terms. This really strengthens that core area right around here, because that's the centermost point between your hands when they're stretched out in this way and your feet. So I'll just demonstrate the movement right now. You just have your arms spread out like this. And you want to remember to tuck your pelvis under like this, so as to focus that strain on the abs. And then you just move down out like this. So another variation is to put your hands closer together up there, and it makes it much more difficult actually. And you can vary whether your feet are wide or narrow. So obviously the most difficult is to have narrow and narrow. So if you were to have your feet wide and your hands close together, you need to get that pelvis tucked under to start, and then the movement becomes very easy. And perhaps the final variation you can attempt once you've accomplished the regular Jack Lalanne push-up is to turn into a plyometric exercise where you're bouncing up and down. And yeah, it's pretty difficult after you've been doing a couple of them, doing multiple takes of the video, but I'll try some more. Like I was saying before, the key is definitely getting that tucked pelvis. When you get the horizontal plane of your pelvis to lower back tucked and your lower back flat, it lines up with your sternum and mid back. You've got these two planes that are horizontal, and then that whole core area becomes, you can make it tight and it supports that whole movement, which allows you to accomplish it. And I feel this is much better than doing endless amounts of repetitive crunches. You can just do maybe get up to doing 10 of these, do them every other day or so, and you're getting quite a good workout for that area. Eventually you want to increase it more and more. You want to be able to increase the load of the exercise, so eventually if you get really good at it and you need more load, you can put a backpack on with weights in it. So this exercise is key for anyone looking for whole body functional strength. This differs from doing some sort of movement in a gym with weights in a machine where you're really isolating different muscles and you're not working your body as a whole unit. So as a martial artist, I'm interested in movements that are applicable in the real world. Being able to use your whole body to do this kind of movement can translate into similar type movements where you might need to be pushing someone to the ground on that sort of horizontal downward angle. And if you're a gymnast or whatever your art or body art is, this can be very beneficial for that core strength, and it may result in improving your abdominal tone and the look of your abdominal muscles, but the real functionality of it is that core strength. It works the mid-back, up the back as well. And it's just a phenomenal exercise for this whole area. One thing I wanted to mention also is if you're not able to fully do the push-up right away, which I'm sure many people won't be able to do, it's actually very difficult. You can always start with the negative of it, so you get into the position and you just let yourself lower down until you're flat on the ground from that starting position in that Spider-Man push-up. And the other thing you can do is you can just do regular push-ups, but do them higher up, and then as you get better and better, you slowly move them up. So you're doing, first you're doing the push-ups sort of with your hands by your head, then you move them higher up, and eventually until you can do them with your arms fully outstretched.